Oh, arrest me. I'm American. You're a Tijuanan.
Okay, imagine being an immigrant, working hard in a foreign country, hoping to create a better future for you and your family. But just because a racist Karen felt that way, you're labeled as a criminal and an illegal crook. This is the story of Jeanne Umana, a 74-year-old resident of Santa Barbara who has been caught countless times throwing racist comments and being a self-proclaimed custodian for US laws. It all began with this video.
Okay, you're working here. You're not based out of here, is that correct? Because I was going to say that you have
you are on private property.
That's fine. Okay. And I reported you already.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I have the right to find out who my neighbors are because I live here. You don't.
Okay, but you don't have the permit to come into a private property.
Oh, arrest me.
Okay, I can
I
call
live
the cops.
here. I'm American. You're a Tijuanan.
Thank you for being racist. Thank you.
I am very, very much against people who break our laws.
As the video begins, we see Jeanne Umana making her way onto the construction site, only because she saw a Latino worker doing his job. Umana assumed in her entitlement-struck narcissistic mind that the worker is somehow guilty of a superficial crime he never even committed, that he is not a citizen of the United States. She didn't really consider the fact that the US has a large Spanish-speaking population, larger than Hispanic countries like Peru or Venezuela, and that all those people would obviously need to have jobs to earn their livelihood. The worker started capturing the whole incident the moment Jeanne approached him. He definitely felt something was off with her demeanor beforehand. Just the first words uttered by Umana reveal her attitude towards people who are not of her color. She said, "You're working here. You're not based out of here. Is that correct?" Luis Cervantes, the worker behind the camera, calmly responded that Umana was the one breaking the laws. She's the one entering onto someone's private property without permission. Instead of responding like a well-adjusted person, Umana made an attempt to intimidate him. She tried to scare him into saying something wrong or getting a reaction out of him, responding with, "That's fine, and I reported you already." She used one of the go-to moves of Karens like her. A lot of immigrants may get scared at threats of being deported back to their country, but admirably, Luis remains calm throughout the whole ordeal. Umana then responded with an absurd justification for her reasoning for breaking the law, saying that, "I have a right to find out who my neighbors are, because I live here and you don't." What a display of bigotry. Clearly, she believes that she's superior to Luis, and her racism just oozes out at this moment. While this may sound like a proper justification of her actions in her mind, it didn't to the thousands of people who stood against the racism casually displayed by her. Luis once again tries to reaffirm the fact that Umana is breaking the law, and could potentially be held accountable for her actions by saying, "Okay, but you don't have the right to come onto private property," to which Umana passive-aggressively replies, "Oh, arrest me." She continued with a racially charged comment saying, "I'm an American, I live here, you're a Tijuanan." It's surprising how a supposed Tijuanan knows more about the laws of the United States than Umana, who claims to be a so-called American. What's made clear throughout the entire conflict is that even though Umana seems to be the one concerned about the laws, she is unable to understand that tossing racial comments like these are a hate crime, and an offense for which she could be held accountable for. Later in the video, she says, "I am very against people who break our laws." Toward the end of the video, she even violently grabs the camera, physically assaulting Luis. What's amazingly absurd is, Umana, the entitled enforcer of the laws in the United States, committed 2 crimes in a single video within a time frame of 30 seconds. The video went viral across the internet, sparking a protest in Santa Barbara, with hundreds of people showing up across the street and outside Umana's house, sending a message that racism is something that this country won't tolerate. Take a look for yourself.
Very crazy tonight. And she was very racist towards a construction worker, and he uploaded the video yesterday, and we're here to hold her accountable for her actions.
But this wasn't the end, because just when things were dying down, another video of Jeanne Umana being racist towards a Latino vendor selling tacos surfaced on the internet. The video was posted by Eden Alex Enamorado, a person who posts viral videos of incidents he believes to be racially motivated, and is known for standing up for sidewalk vendors. What blew my mind while watching the video was that in that said video, Umana claims to be a police officer. The crime rates in the United States make sense now, but what absolutely doesn't make sense is how rude and mean Umana is being to every working Latino out there.
Come on. You're illegal.
Pero why your problem?
Because you're selling food that is going to make people sick.
Pero it's your house. No.
It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the
What
city is
happened?
arresting people doing it now, and they want you out. Take your food.
Yeah, got
put
in
it
the
on
police.
truck
Why
and
your
get rid of
problem?
it.
What?
Because you're a crook. You're an illegal crook.
The video begins with Umana making absurdly illogical remarks to a sidewalk vendor. "You're illegal," is what she comes up with while standing up against the supposed injustice happening in our society, from which no one but only Umana can save us. Apparently, the vendor repeatedly asks what her problem is, trying to make sense out of everything that's happening. Umana once again went on to disrespect the vendor, even claiming she works in the police department when she clearly does not. "You're a crook, you're an illegal crook. You know what a crook is? I thought you didn't speak English. You don't speak English because you're a liar and a crook." Honestly, it's baffling how Umana feels the need to correct every Latino about laws of the country where she clearly needs to revise the Constitution book herself. While harassing minorities might be a pastime for Umana, thousands of people who watched the video weren't there to pass the time. The outright racist remarks, physical assault, and false claims of Umana working with the police department was enough for people to stand up against the offense and demand a change. The protest led by Eden Alex and Amarato gained momentum as they marched towards the downtown police station, demanding accountability from Umana. Sergeant Ethan Ragsdale, the spokesperson of Santa Barbara Police Department, confirmed Umana didn't work for the police department and they were investigating the issue. As a result of the investigation, detectives referred the case to the Santa Barbara District Attorney's Office for their consideration of the following criminal charges against Jeanne Terese Umana: trespassing, battery on a person, and hate crime, said Ragsdale. Though Umana is unhappy with the judgment, in an interview with Los Angeles Times, Umana apologized for her actions and claimed that she lost her emotions when she saw the camera. According to Umana, everything began when she noticed a construction worker speeding down her residential area and parking illegally in the middle of the road. She entered the construction site where Luis worked unknowingly to report the incident to a manager. "And then when someone put the camera in my face, I think that's when I lost my judgment. My judgment went very, very badly," Umana said. "I'm truly sorry that this got out of hand, and I regret making statements like that, because I said them in the heat of the moment. They were not measured. And whatever I might feel, I do not have the right to take it out on anybody else. But unfortunately, I lost control. Unfortunately, even if you lose control, you cannot take it out on anybody you see fit." Umana tries to fill up her fragile ego with statements like, "I'm American," but frankly, she's just a rotten excuse for an American. Thankfully, people took a stand for Luis, and Jeanne Umana was later arrested on the charges of trespassing onto someone's private property and making racist comments towards a Latino construction worker. Hopefully, Umana feels guilty for her actions, and we can only hope that her worldview shifts from being an absolute jerk to that of a kind and compassionate person. All in all, this story remains a stark reminder of just how harmful racism can be, and how there is still a lot of work to be done to make the world a safe and compassionate place for people of all colors. After all, for every person like this who's caught on camera, there are 100 more who remain unseen. But it also shows that hope is not lost, as after this video, the severe backlash against Umana displays just how much people are not letting such despicable acts slide. Hopefully, as time goes by, such incidents become less and less common. But until that day, I'll keep covering these cases. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing. And as always, thank you for watching.